So welcome all. So welcome to today's Livingston session. So today we have Mr. Pukhraj Singh as our speaker. So he's a cancer guide and an inspirational coach. So today Pukhraj Ji will be speaking about healing through love and power of the mind. So welcome to today's session, Pukhraj Ji.
Thank you for inviting me.
He believes to treat the body first and then heal the mind. So Pukhraj Ji works from a space of love. So he believes that when you're able to love a stranger completely, sharing their suffering, comforting them with a hug, or just holding on their hand, you may win their trust, and that is the beginning of emotional healing. He makes the patients change their attitude towards the disease. As they discover their own strength and begin to believe in themselves, the thoughts change, the love begins to flow from within, and that is the beginning of the healing. So once again, I'm welcoming Mr. Pukhraj Singh to today's session. So I'll be handing over the session to you, and you can start the session now.
So I would prefer it being an interactive session. I think that would be better, where we can just share ideas and thoughts. So it's like this. I've been working 9 years. I especially work with teenagers who have cancer. And for me, the way I have experienced with so many people who've had cancer, I feel the mind is the most powerful thing. If you have cancer, if you say, "Ji, main lut gaya," main lut gaya. If you say it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. So that is the only way I look at it. You can only win your fight over cancer, or at least give it a fight when you have the right attitude towards it. So this is what I have been, let's say, sharing with other patients, and sometimes with amazing results. You see, the way I look at cancer, you need two processes to be okay. So first is the cure, and the other is the heal. The cure is going to be done by the doctor through your chemo, through your radiation, through your surgery. So that cures that makes the body feel better, that makes the cancer go away. But I think there's also a lot of emotional trauma. So for me, the emotional trauma is equally very important, because when you get cancer, you have so many different emotion traumas you had never experienced before. You know, you're in shock, you're in disbelief, you're in anxiety, you're in stress. So once your chemo begins, you are able to get rid of the cancer. But if you're not able to get over the trauma of having the cancer, accepting it, then I feel that's why it comes back. So this is what I tell people, ki chalo ji, you have to deal with the mind equally as you have to deal with the body. So the healing is required. So when I deal with patients, when you meet patients, generally when we meet somebody who's got cancer, we have a tendency to tell everybody, कि जी आप positive हो जाओ. बोलने से कभी कोई positive नहीं हुआ. I think it's a silly line. So there's a whole process about it. And how the positivity for me comes about is when you are able to change your whole perception for living. आपका पूरा जीने का ढंग बनेगा, आपकी पूरी attitude बनेगी. आप actually introspect करोगे कि मुझे हुआ क्यों. There are, like, let's say if somebody has lung cancer, there are 10,000 people around us who have lung cancer. Why are you specifically the one who got it? So somewhere I think there was an emotional imbalance. There was something which made you get it compared to the other people who probably smoke more than you. So this is where I like to feel cancer is where it all begins. So you can ask me anything else. I mean, what else would you like me to share?
What do you think are the various techniques of healing, like which you suggest to the
so the way I like to deal with people who have cancer, I think when you have cancer, when we get cancer, we all have very low. We are in trauma. When you have cancer, you are in trauma. You have low you have no confidence as such, low self-esteem ho jata hai. You are in isolation, you are in shame, you're in guilt, you're in stress. So the way I deal with cancer patients is just loving them. You might say that sounds weird, but किसी को मैं मिलता हूँ, खाली आप उनसे अगर मिल के, it's okay, Hindi is okay na? Add Hindi to it.
Yeah, I can.
So when I meet somebody, I just put my hands across the shoulder and just ask them, how are they doing? आपके हाल कैसे, आपकी तबीयत कैसी है? you'll be surprised how so many different emotions come out, so many different feelings come out. Their loss, whoever is suffering, their loss of identity, their stress, their anxieties, they all actually begin to come out. I mean, I was also surprised that they don't know me, but they're opening so much. But this is the trauma we all face when we get the illness. We are unable to share it with people. Our family members probably don't understand because they themselves have to deal with your cancer. So there is so much hidden trauma, emotional disturbance. So unless that is dealt with, how are you going to become okay? So when I'm doing this and I'm talking to a patient, I like to hold their hand, talk from the heart. It makes a lot of difference. I'm not there to lecture anybody. I'm here to listen to their pain and suffering. So किसी से आप दिल से बात करो, they will resonate in the same way. They will open up. When I'm doing this, I like to hold the hand and probably end it all with a hug. So this I feel is called emotional bonding, emotional hand holding. So this is the first step which you do, which I feel one does with the cancer patient. तो जब ये familiarity आती है और वो patient का आपके ऊपर trust आता है, then I can tell them, okay, let's work on more things. So because you see, if you are having, let's say you have cancer, the next 6 months, your life is traumatized. 6 months to a year, your life is traumatized. You are in pain. How is your mind reacting to that, to your illness all the time? It's usually a negative thoughts which are going through the mind. It's the trauma के जी मेरा क्या होएगा, मेरे परिवार का क्या होएगा, मेरी properties का क्या होएगा. This is what generally we tend to think. So in this scenario, I like to introduce a lot of positive things. I take patients out. We have laughter classes. You'll say laughter se kya hai? For me, when you have these laughter classes, the strongest cells, neuropeptides which are released in your body are oxytocins. When you release oxytocins, when you laugh so much, your pheromones, everything is released here. And sometimes they can have miraculous effects and your illness can disappear. So I do this. I do a lot of breath work. I teach breath work. I teach a little bit of meditation. I even do something called visualization techniques. So when आपको जब किसी को बीमारी है, I actually give them chart papers at my daycare where I have children coming in. So I give them 3 different pieces of chart paper. 2 छोटे देता हूँ, उसमें कहता हूँ एक drawing करो कि जब आपको cancer नहीं था, how was your life? The second I give, make a photo drawing of yourself when you're in the hospital. The third I give is a chart paper which is 4 times the size of that. This whole process takes 1.5 hours. But इसमें क्या होता है? I'm making you think. When I'm making you think, I'm making you create new circuits in your mind. These are called neural circuits. Today, science also accepts it. कि जब तक आपके दिमाग में कोई नए fresh thoughts नहीं आएंगे, नए circuits नहीं बनेंगे, neural circuits नहीं बनेंगे, how will you become okay? Otherwise, we are stuck thinking, if I'm sick and I'm in hospital, my thoughts are every day the same. अब क्या होएगा? अब कीमो लगेगी, अब क्या side effect होएगा? So all I'm doing is creating different thoughts. So with this visualization technique, I've seen amazing results with youngsters. Because मैंने 2 छोटे पेपर दिए, उन्होंने अपना उनको जो दर्द है वो उन्होंने ड्रॉ किया. जो third paper दिया, that is a huge size. So what am I making? I'm making the mind think कि यार, okay, what will I be doing when my illness is gone away? You'll be surprised. That's when they spend most of the time drawing it. And while they're drawing it, sometimes they even start smiling. So this, I feel, is the power of the mind. I would like if somebody would like to join in and just share or talk. Hanji, Mehul, anything you would like to add to? Anyway, Hanji.
Yeah. Pukhraj Ji rightly said, I 100% agree with you. The power of attraction, and when you when I was in my treatment and I used to not think of dying. I used to think of यार मुझे ना मेरे बच्चे के शादी में जाना है, नाचना है वगैरह वगैरह. And then I keep holding to those thoughts. And that really helps. When it's true, what you said is true, that it gets that uh, smile on your face, and you don't realize that all the stress goes off when you smile. Your face becomes more radiant, and then completely agree. And I like, you're doing a very great job. Thank you for that.
No, because this is, you see, लोग डॉक्टर से ट्रीटमेंट तो कीमो का मिलता है, आपके दिमाग कैसे ठीक होएगा? ट्रॉमा तो जब आपको कैंसर हुआ है, यू आर स्टिल इन शॉक. आपका कैंसर, why does cancer come back? The body gets, the mind doesn't get treated. This is the way I look at it. A lot of times it comes back because तुम्हारा, you know, all cancer patients I've seen, whatever little I've observed, after they recover from cancer, most of them go into depression. It could be for a, be 6 months, it could be a year, because your whole belief system life का बदल गया कि मेरे साथ कैसे हो गया, मैंने कौन सा पाप किया था. So ये सारी चीजें आप जब आप अपने दिमाग को आंसर नहीं दोगे through your own thought, how else will it come out? So
completely agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how powerful I think the mind is. And today, even I mean, you hear of so many times fourth stage cancer. I believe you're also fourth stage, right?
Yeah,
fourth stage से निकल ही आए हो ना, ऊपर ने किया, दिमाग नहीं किया, निकल ही आए हो ना. So people who have 2% chance, 1%, they come out of it. Why? Because they get the right thoughts going in their mind. At least that's what I believe, and that's what I've experienced with so many patients to say it. At least it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one more thing which I actually do. So I started doing. So when I meet patients, मैं उनको मिलता हूँ, उनको एक छोटा सा गमला देता हूँ, एक छोटा सा प्लांट देता हूँ, पॉटर. And I said, इसको ले जाओ और इसको सुबह शाम पानी देना है. So they look at me, what are you kind of saying? So, but what am I doing? If I'm giving somebody a potter and I'm giving them to go home and water it morning and evening, the first 2-3 days, they might feel irritated doing it. By the fourth day, they will start doing it. They will start enjoying it. Why will they enjoy? Because that's something they look forward to. जब तुम cancer से बैठे हो, you have nothing to look forward to as such. So I am creating a thing in their mind to start watering the plant. So people actually get up, especially to make sure the plant is watered 2-3 times, twice a day. What is happening in your mind? You're learning the thing of nurturing. You're learning how to nurture. When you're learning tomorrow, that could be the reason why you want to beat your cancer. So you could water that plant for the next few months to come. So these are just the way of looking at your mind. So this is the different. I have more things which I just do, which I share with youngsters especially, and sometimes they come, they make the end result is really good.
How do you think we can make them more focus on the positive thoughts and not the negative thoughts? So what do you think about that? So
see, first, when you have something like cancer, I would actually tell people to shut off any kind of media. Today the most thing which keeps us aloof from others is our phones. When you are stuck with the phone, all your time you're wasting your time whiling away, and you're watching news. If you see, in a day we get 60,000-70,000 thoughts. 90% of these thoughts are negative thoughts, because we live in a society, so we have a tendency to be full of guilt, to be full of jealousy. We look at news all the time. Whoever looks at news, when do you ever get to see something nice, something positive? Everything is negative. So when this is there, we are surrounded by an environment of only negativity. So ultimately your thoughts are also going to be like that. So if you want to start feeling better for yourself, first thing is you have to make an effort. You have to make an effort to cut off. And what I have started sharing with cancer patients is, because I believe in the emotional trauma and the power of the mind, I like to ask them, chalo aapko cancer hua, why did you get it? Think about it. Why did you get it? you'll be surprised. So many people actually get back because they start thinking beyond what they've been taught to. Okay, mujhe kyun cancer hua? Then the second thing I ask the patients is, how do you want to be okay? Okay, how? Okay, will you believe only in what the doctor says, or are you going to make some more efforts for yourself? So these are for me, these are very important questions. Okay, first is, why did you get the illness? You have to think about it, because only when you think about it, you get an answer, is your first step for healing. The second question is, how are you going to become okay? Is it only what the doctor says, or you want to think a little beyond that with being with nature, or having the right nutrition, or doing a few alternative therapies? And the third most important thing, I get shocked by the third question which I asked them is, why do you want to be okay? You don't know, you might say it's a silly question, but this is the most important question. And I tell people, give me an answer why you want to be okay. Don't say you want to be okay for your children, for your family, for your property. Give me 3 reasons to 5 reasons why you want to recover from your cancer. People get shocked, what kind of a silly question is that? But they get back to me after 2 days, 4 days, 5 days because what am I doing? I'm trying to make people think for themselves. कि यार मैं ठीक किस लिए हो रहा हूँ? मैं अपने लिए किस लिए ठीक हो रहा हूँ? So that all I'm creating is thoughts in your mind, neural circuits in your mind to start thinking beyond what you're taught to think. And this is the most important. Why do we want to be okay? So what else can I share? Besides this, I talk a lot. How does one become okay in terms of alternative? I think in living in cities or towns, we've forgotten how important nature is. So I tell people, go be with nature. Go sit out in the sun. The sun is the most powerful energy, the way I look at it. You see animals, no animals living in the jungle, thick jungles, ever fall sick. Dogs get cancer because they eat a food. Animals don't get sick because they're sitting in the sun all day. That is the most powerful energy. So every patient I meet, I said, you want to feel better, you have weakness, you cannot eat, you have nausea, go sit in the sun for 40 minutes. The best time for India is between 11 to 1. Try it for a week and say it didn't matter, it didn't help, but it actually does. So sitting with nature, go sit in a park, go talk to a tree. You know, in Japan, one of the oldest therapies there is, they go in the thick jungles and they go and hug a tree. Ab koge ye kaisi stupid cheez hai to hug a tree. But when I'm hugging a tree, I'm taking out all the tree is absorbing, since it's grounded, it's absorbing all my negative energy. When I hug a tree, I generally start emoting with the tree about my problems. You don't know how powerful that is. So these are all different techniques, and kisko kitna chamatkar ho jaye, nobody can say, you know, it does work with lots of people.
And so was that your inspiration in learning Tai Chi?
Sorry?
So was that your inspiration in learning Tai Chi? Because I went to your profile. Yeah.
So Tai Chi, you see, the way I look, Indian in yoga is around 2,600 years old. So the way I look at yoga is a beautiful thing to prevent you from getting an illness. Yoga is for mindfulness, to getting all the disturbance out of your mind, to meditate, to calm you down, to calm your thoughts down, to get you even inside, and even to make you feeling awakened and enlightened. But I don't think yoga is, if you have an illness and you're practicing yoga, that you will actually recover. I'm not saying in all the cases, this is my feedback on it. Tai Chi is, what I practice is actually something called Qigong, which is a 4,500-year-old breathwork exercise, originated in China. And in this is, it's same as yoga. It's in breath. In yoga, you're in a posture and you're just breathing in, breathing out. This is combined with hand and leg motion. So slowly you move your hands and your legs, combine it with the breath work. And what it does, it cleans all the toxicity from your body. If you remember last year, jab Wuhan mein, when they had the COVID patients, the doctors, there are videos of the doctors teaching the patients all these breathwork exercises to recover from the COVID. So there were special exercises just for the lungs to recover from all this. So I guess I practice this and I've started sharing with patients as well. Anybody would like to share or talk or interact? So what else would you like to share?
If you can talk to regarding like how you do this meditation or something like that, like what do you think, maybe, yeah, which
Sorry, I
can
didn't
help
get
the
that.
cancer. Sorry, maybe you can talk about regarding the breathing or breathing practices and meditation. That would be great.
That would be very difficult to talk as such. This is always if I can present it, and right now it's not going to be possible. But why breathwork is very important. We humans, our lungs work at 60 to 65% capacity. So why did so many people succumb to COVID or they still have lung issues is because they were not practicing any breathwork exercises. Secondly, we live in cities where there's so much pollution. So how are you, if you have an illness in your body, आपकी body में cancer है, वो कैसे हटेगा? एक है आपको, you need the sufficient amount of oxygen, fresh oxygen in your body. So for this, breathwork is very, very important. Whether it's yoga, whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's Qigong, the right breathwork is important, and that will only come when you have fresh oxygen in your body. Secondly, when you have cancer, your body tends to be acidic in nature. So I actually share with patients today even all the Western doctors say no sugar, strictly no sugar. When you have cancer for the next 2 years, please give up on white sugar. You can have white sugar is where it's in the aerated drinks, it's in the juices, it's in the toffees.
हाँ, मुझे पूछने का है, आपने ब्रीदिंग के बारे में बोला अभी.
हाँ जी.
तो योगा में बहुत सारे ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज होते हैं, तो कौन सा ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा?
मैम मैं योगा नहीं करता है, मैं एक्चुअली टाई ची करता हूँ, वो चाइनीज योगा है. सो योगा का आई हैव एक्चुअली नो आइडिया सच. सो आई एम मोर इनटू Chinese breathing. It's called Tai Chi. अगर कभी चांस मिले, wherever you are, there will be surely a Tai Chi teacher. So, में आप जरूर ट्राई कर सकती है. Anything we should all get a chance. जो भी चांस लाइफ में मिले, ट्राई जरूर करो.
हाँ ठीक है, ठीक.
हाँ जी.
हाँ.
और कुछ पूछना चाहोगे?
और मिल्क के बारे में भी आपने बताया.
हाँ जी.
मिल्क तो लेना नहीं चाहिए. तो आप डॉक्टर के हिसाब से आफ्टर 40 or 50 age, we should have the calcium deficiency, so the milk is important.
So if you remember, I started. What
is the other way?
So okay, I'll answer.
The calcium in.
I'll answer this. मैंने जब ये शुरू किया, मैंने कहा I'm not a doctor, but जितना मुझे एक्सपीरियंस है या थोड़ा बहुत मैं रिसर्च करते रहता हूँ. देखो, the way I look at it is, डॉक्टर वही करती है जो उन्होंने पढ़ा हुआ है. I'm sorry, but डॉक्टर्स करते हैं जो उन्होंने पढ़ा है. जो नई चीजें दुनिया में आ रही है, for them to be coming, discovered, come and implemented takes time. So अब वो डॉक्टर कहती है कि जी आपकी बॉडी में कैल्शियम कम है. ठीक है, कैल्शियम कम के लिए चाहिए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, मिल्क में कैल्शियम होता है, but there's no guarantee how much calcium will go in your bones from the milk. Everybody's different. So if you want, like I come from Delhi, अब दिल्ली में ले लो, every second woman, 90% of the women there suffer from vitamin B12 and vitamin D deficiency. The reason being they don't sit out in the sun. आप धूप में कब बैठते हो? हमारे को अब वो दूसरा कॉन्सेप्ट आता है कि जी धूप में बैठेंगे तो स्किन कैंसर हो सकता है. स्किन कैंसर is hardly there in India. It happens more to the white skin. So अगर आपको अपना विटामिन डी ठीक करना है, B12 ठीक करना है, प्लीज 11 से 1 बजे बेस्ट टाइम इंडिया में होता है, जब धूप स्ट्रांग है. लाइट कपड़े पहन के, पतले से टी शर्ट पहन लो या शर्ट पहन लो, जो भी, एंड जस्ट सिट इन द सन फॉर 40 मिनट्स. पसीना आएगा, जब पसीना आएगा आपकी बॉडी की टॉक्सिसिटी सारी निकलेगी. यू विल बी सरप्राइज. आई एम फ्रॉम दिल्ली, दिल्ली में 45 डिग्रीज होता है. आई स्टिल गो सिट. दोपहर को 12 बजे मैं 1 बजे आधा घंटा धूप में बैठ रहा हूं. एंड यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग लाइटर. योर illnesses stay away from you. So मैं
I'll
खाली,
try now.
please do it. And all I say, whenever somebody tells me in life, try it, I'll try it for a few days. नहीं suit किया, नहीं किया. But try it for 10 days and say, yes, it might make a difference. That's when for me, that's when life begins, when we start experimenting beyond what we've been taught to think.
Okay. Thanks for the information.
And there is more reasons. The milk today we get is very impure. I'll give you an example. 60 years back, our last grandparents, right?
Yeah.
The ladies used to have a lot of milk, but then they were looking after 5-6 children. They were cleaning the house up. They were washing the dishes. They were making the food. So all that energy was used up by the milk you had. Today, all of us live a very relaxed lifestyle with all the comforts around. जब आप वो नहीं करोगे, आप मिल्क कंज्यूम कर रहे हो, उसको बर्न आउट कैसे करोगे? सेकेंडली, जो मिल्क आजकल आता है, आज जो मिल्क आता है, a buffalo is milked. It used to be milked twice a week. Today it's done 5 times a week. They are given an injection, diclofenac, which enhances the milk capacity 3 times what it's supposed to give. So basically what is happening, you're getting chemicals. You're not getting that pure milk which was available 40 years back.
Okay.
So I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah.
Haji, anybody else would like to share a little bit? Haji, any?
So Kapil sir, he has a question, so I'll just read it for you. So he was asking, desi cow milk ले सकता है क्या? So that's
क्या
what
ले सकते हैं?
desi cow milk ले सकता है क्या?
देसी बिल्कुल ठीक है, एब्सोल्युटली. बट मुझे एक चीज बताओ, जो आजकल आप रिसर्च करोगे ऑनलाइन, जब रिसर्च करते हो, एवरीथिंग इज 50% yes have it, 50% don't have it. जब माइंड में डाउट आ गया है तो इतनी अर्जेंसी क्यों है लेने की? आई एम सॉरी बट दिस इज द वे आई फील. आपने चाय में थोड़ा सा मिल्क लेना है, ले लो, बट आई नो बिकॉज हम सारी जिंदगी से मिल्क ले रहे हैं. जब आजकल दुनिया में डाउट आ रहा है, पिछले 10-20 साल की स्टडी भी कर रही है कि मिल्क इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट, गिव इट अ ब्रेक. आई एम नॉट सेइंग गिव इट अप फॉरएवर, give it a break for some time and then you can have it whenever you want. So any other questions around? Anything else you would like to ask me, Annie?
That's it. Yeah. So Kapil sir is saying that cow milk से cancer treatment में फायदा होता है, ये सही है क्या?
क्या, sorry?
Cow milk से cancer treatment में फायदा होता है, ये सही है क्या? So he has another doubt. So I'm just reading it to you. Does
cow milk फायदा होता है?
हाँ.
Like I said, मैं कोई expert नहीं हूँ, मैं कुछ नहीं हूँ, but जो मेरा experience है, 9 years I've dealt with cancer patients, it's avoidable.
Okay.
It's totally avoidable because पिछले 10 साल की स्टडी सारी कहती है कि milk is controversial. Sugar is controversial. So when something is controversial, so what is my urgency to mess around with it? Why get it into my system?
Yeah, I have come across an article that says that all the white foods, most of the white foods can cause cancer. Like what we eat, like maida, white sugar, everything. So all the food which are colored white, it can lead to cancer. So that's how I come across.
ठीक है.
Yeah, if anyone else have any doubts, please make it clear now so that Pukhraj Ji can answer for you guys.
See, thank you all for being here. और किसी को अगर कुछ भी थोड़ा doubt है, I would love to share because I like to think beyond what we've been taught to think. And that is the first step forward to to healing ourselves. So I'll share a story about the power of the mind, which I've shared before. मेरे पास 3 साल पहले एक बच्चा, 4 साल पहले, I got a young teenager, 18 years old, and he had thyroid cancer. So I met him for half an hour. I gave him थोड़ा उसको खुश कराया, इंस्पायर कराया, आधा घंटे की एक पेप टॉक दी, इंस्पिरेशन, सर्वाइवर स्टोरी बताई. And I said bye to him. 2 months later, the counselor, they said he's in depression and he wants to meet you. So I met this that time he was 16 years old. So I met him and I said कि आपको, मुझे पता है आपको क्या तकलीफ है. He looked at me. I said, तेरे को कैंसर हुआ है, इसका मतलब आपका स्कूल छूट गया? कहते हैं यस सर. ऐसे स्कूल छूट गया तो इसका मतलब तेरे दोस्त भी छूट गए? कहते हैं यस सर. तो ऐसे टाइम कैसे पास करता है? कहता है सर मैं ऑनलाइन कंप्यूटर्स पे बैठे रहता हूँ. So I said, then of course you're going to be sad and frustrated. So I said, what do you like? तेरा पैशन क्या? अगर तेरे को चांस मिले क्या करना चाहेगा? कहते सर मुझे एक्टिंग पसंद है. So I said, okay, share your photo and your profile. So I posted on some Facebook group, on WhatsApp group, that this child, 16-year-old recovering from thyroid cancer, he would like to act. Can somebody assist? So some kind lady got in touch with him, put him in a school for 6 months where he learned acting. From there, he went to another school and then he joined National School of Drama. And today he travels all over the country and he's just taking part in different acting things. And abhi iska ek pura movie bhi choti aayi hai, documentary on acting. Now, what has happened in this whole process? His cancer is long forgotten. This is the way I look at it. जब आपको जिंदगी में कोई मकसद मिल जाए, जीने के लिए कोई पर्पस मिल जाए, then everything can disappear. Your illness too can disappear. So this is the way I look at it. It's very important to be focused on how do you want to be okay.
I think if anyone have any more doubts or just if someone want to clear something with Pukhraj Ji, it's the right time to ask now.
Anybody else would like to share a little bit? I would like to hear other people's opinions too. That would be wonderful. Their stories.
Yeah, I think we can wind up the session now then.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you for being a part of today's
Thank
session, sir.
All
Thank
for
you
hearing.
so much.
Okay, all the best. Bye-bye.
All the best. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.